Okay, here's a little Mazda I bought for £500. Basically it's all complete, it's in original condition. Let's come around the side. What I've actually done is I went round the bodywork and basically ringed with a felt pen how many dents, little dents and things was on the car, and I've rubbed them down slightly and then applied filler to them, as you can see all the way around the car there. It probably looks a lot worse than what it is actually. I mean, they're just little dings, but as I say, I've actually filled them and they're just waiting to be sanded off. The actual car itself is in original genuine condition. This is a pair, there was two dents along there, and also 2 dents there in the bonnet basically. I've actually sanded them down and just give them a top coat of primer ready for spraying, just to see what they would come out like. In actual fact, you probably can't see it on the camera, but you can't actually see where the dents was, so I'm very happy with that. All I did there basically was rub down with a flat sanding block with 150 grit paper, filled with a stopper filler, because there was only very small dents. It wasn't an actual body filler as such, it was what they call a stopper filler, and then rubbed down again with 150 grit paper, and then primed it just to see if it came through, which obviously none of the dents have actually come through again. Now this bonnet, for example, the rest of the bonnet has still got the original paint on, which obviously the whole car is going to be resprayed, but this bonnet is now ready for its final rub down, which I will probably do with 400 paper. I'm not going to prime the whole bonnet. All I'll do is go over there with 400 or 500 paper just to take the sheen off of it, and basically then that whole bonnet is ready for what they call the base coat, which I've had mixed up professionally from a Paint Factor's, the original colour. And then that is a water-based paint which dries very, very rapidly compared to the old solvent-based paints. And I will then, after it's flashed off, then go over with the top coat, which is the hard clear lacquer, which again is a 2-part mix with lacquer and hardener. But all the bodywork will be done first. As I say, as you can see, I've gone around the car. The bonnet is now finished. Go around, finish off these other little dents. Just sand them down with the same paint block, rubbing block, which is 150, 120 to 150 paper. If they need refilling again, I'll see, because I'll put a little guide coat on them. But that is basically all I've actually had to do to this car. It was an original standard condition, there's no rot on it at all, and I've actually got a couple of people interested in it at the moment actually. As I say, I've brought a new spoiler for the back. There was some holes in the edge here where an old spoiler was, down the either side of the bonnet, the boot rather. And I bought a spoiler, but the fixings are in a slightly different position. It's an original Mark 1 spoiler I've got. It's a different colour at the moment, it's black. But that will obviously be painted off the car. I will take the lights out of the car, the number plate will come off, all the badges, the wing mirrors will come off the side. I'll leave the hood on, and basically, being a convertible, it's just easy to tape up. There's no, obviously, roof to paint. The car didn't have an MOT or tax on it when I bought this, and obviously I did my own checks on it when I bought it. When I went down to collect it, it seemed to be running fine. It was I've done a few little checks, checking the wheel bearings and listening for engine knocks or wear and tear on brakes and stuff, you know, general stuff you can see. So I'd satisfied myself that the car didn't need too much work doing on it, and for £500 I could definitely turn a profit on this one. Bearing in mind the paint I've bought for it, it just cost me probably about £50 to buy the actual paint, and I've just got to invest my time to do the work. As I say, I've done that bonnet yesterday, and that probably took me about, I don't know, an hour, hour and a half maybe, to get from this stage here of the filler. The filler dries within about 10 to 15 minutes. I think I waited about 20 minutes to put the filler on, after the filler had gone off, before I started sanding. And literally within about an hour to an hour and a half totally, it was already primed and ready to go. So it's, as you say, it might look like there's a long process, but it's not actually a long process. the first part I done was to go around the car with a felt tip pen and just look at all different angles and ring it with a felt tip pen, so I knew exactly where the dents were. And that is the stage you see here. I then filled the dents, or rubbed them down slightly and filled them, and then finished off like that. And that is the little Mazda, which I'm going to show you from stage to stage, and hopefully we'll make a profit on this one.